Steve and Kate, congratulations. You guys have made it into the third and final round of this competition. Let me say this, you fellas can forge, man. You guys really brought your A game, but you're gonna have to step it up because now we're sending you back to your home forges to recreate this iconic weapon from history. The Rooster Head French Pioneer Sword. Gentlemen, good luck. We'll see you in 4 days.
We're here in Lauranja, Louisiana, and I'm ready to get going. We're gonna try to whack this piece of metal out and get it into profile. I start off at the tip because it's probably the most demanding, and I work my way back from there. Traditionally, these blades have a slight saber-type bend in them, so I heat it up and I whack it over the end of the anvil. I'm very tired, but I got the forging of my blade done. While I'm waiting for it to cool off, I'm just gonna go work on my rooster head pommel. I found this chicken head. I thought it would be perfect so I can make the mold to cast with bronze. I wasn't able to heat treat, but what I didn't get done on the blade, I got done on my molds, so still feel like I'm on track.
So it's the morning of day 2, and I've got a lot of work to do today. I have to cut my saw teeth into the back. Now I'm ready for the heat treat.
This is proving a little more difficult than I thought it'd be to get an even heat.
This blade isn't all the way hard. Can't turn in a blade that's half hard. I am screwed. So here we go again.
I'm gonna sit here and re-quench this and re-straighten this until it's hard. There's some flames, that's what we want to see.
I file test it to skating like glass.
That's a hard blade.
I'm starting off the day grinding my fullers. Don't know how that's gonna go. One danger of having a double-sided fuller is you can grind straight through your blade. And so I just kind of go down the blade and check and make sure I'm not doing that. I gotta sharpen the saw back too. I don't know what they're gonna test this thing on. Hopefully it'll hog away some stuff. Now that I'm done with that, it is time to heat treat. It's hard.
Today, I'm gonna try to conquer casting. This is my absolute first time doing any casting, so hopefully I can get it figured out. I want to cast 3 pieces. There's the guard piece, handle, and then there's the rooster-headed pommel. My first casting is just a piece of bronze that's gonna be the guard with the upswept quillions.
All right, that's way more than enough for a guard.
I have the guard cast, which I'm pretty happy about. I have the handle cast. Then I got this rooster. I can see an eye, I can see the detailed feathers on this side. Friggin' sweet. This is a lot denser and heavier than I thought, which I'm happy about because my blade is super forward heavy and I want that balance point to just get farther back on the blade. Going into day 4, I have the 3 pieces of my handle, so my day tomorrow is gonna be tedious finish work.
It's the morning of day 4, and today it's just putting it all together. I casted my rooster head and my guard, and if I may say, this is one bomb chicken head. Look at that bad boy. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Handle comes next. That's about it. Everything's looking pretty good. I got a sword.
All right, bladesmiths, your blades look lovely, but are they deadly? I'm gonna take your weapons, deliver some lethal cuts and slashes on this goat carcass. It's time to find out if they're ready for a cockfight or they're gonna play chicken. Steven, you're up first. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right, Steven, let's talk about your sword here. It's beautiful looking, but it's a heavy sword. But that lends itself to deliver very deep cuts with every swing. And more importantly, it will kill. All right, Kate, your turn. So you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Kate, let's talk about your sword here. Your handle construction fits perfectly in my hand. Now, your edge is pristine, no glints, no rollings whatsoever, and most importantly, it'll keel.
All right, gentlemen, welcome to the strength test, the log chop. Now, to test the strength and overall durability of your blades, I'll be chopping on this log. All right, Stephen, you're up first. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Right, first off, Stephen, nice job on the castings. They're nicely done. Your handle is about 1 inch too long. It allows my hand to travel around a lot. Your blade took no damage whatsoever. Good job.
Thanks.
All right, Cade, you're up next. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Cade, your blade is in good condition. No rolls, no chips. Still sharp as it was when I started. Good job.
All right, bladesmiths, this is the sharpness test, the Scarecrow saw and slice. Test the sawbacks on your weapon. I'll be sawing into the wooden dowels. Then I'll test the edge by cutting the watermelon and the sugarcane bundle. Steven, you're up first. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, Steven, let's talk about your sawback here. Once it gets started, it starts to saw. It works. It's a functional sawback in there. You're able to dig into the dowel. Your edge is sharp. No issues cutting on the watermelon, and the weight alone is gonna just chop that whole thing off. Overall, sir, it'll cut.
Thank you.
All right, Cade, your turn. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Cade, the sawback. These teeth are sharp. Even at the start, it already digs in. A couple of slices in there, it's already digging right into the wooden double. Your edge, no issues whatsoever. Cuts to the watermelon and cuts the rest of the sugarcane bundles. Overall, sir, it'll cut.
Thank you.
All right, bladesmiths, the weapons tests are complete and the judges literally had to weigh the details. The new Forged in Fire champion is... Cade, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion. Steven, your blade is 2 pounds heavier than Cade's blade, making it less wieldy. Additionally, your handle is a little bit out of proportion with the blade, and it's for that reason that you cannot be the Forged in Fire champion. Come on forward, my friend.
Even though I feel somewhat defeated right now, I'm still proud of what I've done, and I'm proud of what I turned in.
The beast, man. Well done.
Thank you.
You're a great competitor.
Thank you.
Stephen, this cast is really nice.
I'm not gonna say I'm gonna go home and start making swords, but I did really enjoy the whole process, and it also taught me what I could do in a short amount of time. Not that it's my best work, but I'm proud of myself for not giving up there.
Cade, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion, and that is a title that comes with a check for $10,000. How do you feel right now?
Cockle-diddle-doo.
Good job, my friend. You made a fine rooster-headed French pioneer sword. Come on forward and shake our hand.
I am super psyched right now. I am so proud of myself, and I thank God that I had this opportunity. I gotta keep working hard and keep on trying to climb that ladder, you know? 10 grand is college funds.
Gentlemen, congratulations. It's down to the two of you to decide who's going to leave here with the title of Forged in Fire champion and that check for $10,000. Now, in this final round, we're sending you back to your home forges for 4 days to build an iconic weapon from history. We want you to build this.
Oh.
This is the elephant tusk sword.
Dating as far back as the 6th century BC, the mighty elephant was used during warfare, often armed with the fierce elephant tusk sword. This lethal weapon featured a socket that connected directly to the elephant's tusk. The double-edged blade was designed to inflict massive destruction as an elephant charged through barricades and ranks of enemy soldiers. Throughout history, there is evidence of thousands of elephant tusk swords being used in battle. However, only 4 pairs of these intimidating weapons still exist today.
I've never seen anything like it. I'm trying to figure out how I'm even going to construct this. The terrifying feeling is starting to set in again.
Good luck. We'll see you in 4 days.
Hell yeah.
My name is Matt Schweinberg. I'm 38 years old, from Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm a senior engineer and a part-time bladesmith. I'm not normally a competitive guy, but for this I made an exception because I'm here to win. My adrenaline's already pumping through my veins, and I'm ready for that challenge. I've got my width that I'm looking for, but my workpiece might be a little too thin. I'm going to try and forge weld in a mild steel medial ridge. So I'm going to get some mild steel and try and forge weld that onto both sides. All right, now we're cooking. This sword is meant for an elephant, so the amount of force that's going to go into the blade is going to be off the charts. We want as even of a heat as we can get. Check it with a magnet, make sure that we're at critical temp, and then pull it out, drop it in my quench oil. Good so far. Don't see any cracks. All the welds held up, nothing blew apart. So far, so good. Now, just to make it look pretty, I'm gonna start off by securing the blade to the socket. I'm worried about possibly overheating the blade, so I'm gonna have to take some extra care to make sure the heat doesn't travel and ruin the temper on the blade. Let that cool off. Doing a kind of test fit of the sword. Perfect. Everything goes together smooth as silk. This blade is crazy. I never would have imagined myself making something like this, so I'm kind of excited to see what kind of destruction it does, or maybe the sword blows apart, I don't know. Looks pretty sweet.
My name's Jaden Samiski. I'm 19 years old, and I started bladesmithing at about age 15. My entire life, I've gotten in trouble for 2 things, playing with knives and playing with fire. And so eventually it clicked in my mind that I could make knives with fire, and it really just went from there. Everything's looking good. I think that it's all welded up well. I'm going to start preparing to weld the socket cap onto the blade. If I do these welds incorrectly, I will end up with cracks. I could end up with the whole blade basically just breaking off. The welds ended up great, so I'm feeling good about where I am. And today's mostly just gonna be making this thing beautiful. So I'm gonna grind it like I would an axe. I'm gonna do big convex edges because all that extra meat in there will help support the cutting edge itself. That's exactly how I wanted it. It's way cooler than I ever thought it would have been, and I'm happy with it. At this point, I could show up and on the first hit, it could snap in half and I'd walk away happy. I hope it doesn't though. I do want to win.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the keel test. In battle, these swords were attached to elephants who just rammed across its opponents. Find out what kind of lethal damage your weapon will do. We're gonna go hog wild on this ballistics dummy. Jaden, you're up first. You ready for this?
Hell yeah.
Let's do this.
Ooh.
I wasn't expecting his head to come off.
All right, James, talk about your weapon here. Every thrust was deadly. It went all the way through. What I do like is I can see the Damascus pattern on your blade there. Jaden, your elephant tusk sword, it will kill.
That's all I wanted.
All right, Matt, your turn, sir. You ready?
Hopefully my sword's not irrelevant after this test.
We're gonna have fun. All right, Matt, it penetrates very deep, and on the way out, it cuts. It's a weighted weapon right here that when it thrusts, see the hole right in the middle of the ballistics dummy? It destroyed everything in there. Your weapon right here, it will kill.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, gentlemen, the strength test. We've mounted your elephant tusk swords on our battering ram here, and I will be attacking that armored soldier. All right, Jaden, you ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
That's terrifying.
Jaden, I really have to commend you on the artistry of this blade. The low layer pattern really pops. The connections here are all really beautifully done. And for this test, that tip still has an edge. Everything is right and tight and true, and nothing's changed. Well done.
Thank you.
Matt, you ready to roll?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Matt, your blade held up fine. The tip, it's a little bit duller than when it started out with, but I wouldn't run my finger down this edge. So nicely done, it held up beautifully.
Thank you.
All right, bladesmiths, we know your weapons can kill and we know they are strong. Now it's time to find out how sharp your weapons are. This is the sharpness test, the guillotine fruit slice. We're gonna take your elephant tusk sword, release it, and try to cut through the fruit. I wanna see clean cuts all the way through. Jaden, you're up first. You ready?
Hell yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Nice.
All right, Jaden, your edge here, cut all the way through cleanly. Bottom line, sir, your elephant tusk sword, you'll cut. All right, Matt, your turn, sir. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Matt, let's talk about your weapon here. The weight on this, it drives the cut all the way through. Your edge is sharp. More importantly, sir, you'll cut.
Thank you, Doug.
Well, Jade and Matt, you guys both performed exceptionally well during your test, but as you know, only one of you guys will be leaving here with the title of Forge and Fire Champion. And today's Forge and Fire Champion is Jaden. Congratulations, you won, man. Matt, unfortunately, that means you did not come out on top today. I'm gonna have to ask you to please step out.
I'm proud of the sword that I turned in. They were virtually the same performance. Good job, man.
Yeah, you too.
And Jaden's weapon, he turned in a work of art, and I think he deserves the title. First thing I'm gonna do when I get home, kiss my wife and crack open a beer.
Well, Jaden, that means you are today's Forge and Fire Champion. You're gonna be leaving here with a check for $10,000, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm the new Forge and Fire Champion, and I'm really stoked about it.
How old are you again?
19.
19 years old. That is extremely impressive, man.
Thank you. Woo! I'm so bad at emotion.
John, Mike, congratulations. You've both made it into the final round of this competition. Now we're sending you back to your home forges to recreate an iconic weapon from history. That weapon is the Bardiche.
Sweet.
Vicious and menacing, the Bardiche was a favorite of Eastern European infantry soldiers during the 16th and 17th centuries. Its large crescent-shaped axe head measured nearly 2 feet at the edge and could cleave through flesh and bone. Specialized soldiers called streltsy would use the Bardiche's pole to balance their muskets for firing from a distance, then switch to their axe during melee combat.
Though rare in American pop culture, you can experience the Bardiche's savagery on the virtual battlefield in the game Chivalry Medieval Warfare.
Good luck, bladesmiths. We'll see you in 5 days.
All right, let's do this.
Day one. My name's Michael Peterson. I've been picking up a hammer before I could even ride a bike. Learning and just going out there after my dad would get done forging and just tinkering around, smashing hammers. 23 years later, I'm still making blades. Oh yeah, now we got a good fire. I use a coke forward because it's what I grew up on. I'm using 5160. There we go. Ah, it's a beautiful sound, ain't it? Move on to the handle. I'm gonna start shaping down here, leave less here. Turn on the grinder, got a belt on there. As soon as it gets going, yeah! It snaps, hits me right in the chest. Ouch. These holes in the Bardiche blade make the blade a little lighter. Okay. Got all the holes drilled all the way through. Yeah, looks pretty cool, I think. I'm feeling a little nervous about the heat treat. All right, the moment of truth. Lord, let this go well. I'm edge quetching, hoping for a hard edge and a soft spine, therefore reinforcing the blade. Here we go. Foul test. Oh yeah, we got her. Yeah! Everything's ready to put together. I have a little concern about the weight. Just a lot. Like that. A little bit front heavy, does bother me a little. But at this point, not much I can do about it.
My name is John Wigger. I'm 28 years old. One of the things I'm actually known for is I shave stuff into my chest. It's one time I won a sweater contest by shaving a Christmas tree into my chest. So I thought, why not win $10,000 shaving an anvil into my chest? I'm gonna try to just focus on the blade because this is the most important part of my builds. I have to get the blade heat treated. I don't got a quench tank big enough, so I had to fabricate a quench tank. So I'm gonna see if it holds liquid so I know if I can fill it with my oil. Got some leaks. I might put some plastic in it and maybe line it with tin foil to try to keep the heat away from the plastic. You may be wondering what's gonna happen when the oil gets hot inside there, and I may be wondering the same thing. Now I'm gonna stick my blade in the forge and normalize it a few times, and then I'm gonna go in for my heat treat. I just hope this thing holds up. I'm more worried about listening for cracks or anything than I am about burning my shop down at the moment. Then my oil starts leaking out. Who's on my oil? So I decided to take the blade out, but I think I got a hard blade. So today I get to start on all the little detail work on the blade. I'm gonna try to incorporate maybe like a dragon type thing on one side and maybe a bunch of just design on the other. So then I'll put that in acid and it'll eat away everywhere beside the paint. And then after that, I'll wipe off all the paint and you should get a nice shiny finish from where the paint was, and then kind of a rustic, patinaed look on the rest of the blade. So it's just one big piece of art as well as a weapon.
All right, bladesmiths, this is the kill test. To find out how lethal your weapon is, I will take your Bardiche and deliver lethal chops on this big carcass. John, you're up first. You ready?
Let's do it.
Do this.
Nice. Head on, brother.
All right, John, let's talk about your Bardiche here. I love the swells. By putting these swells right there, it allows me to adjust my hand and get a good grip every time I move it around. Your blade right here is razor sharp. Cuts through spine, bones, and thick flesh. Overall, sir, your Bardiche will kill.
I got something to show you.
Oh, sure.
Kill test.
Oh, it will kill. Good job. I'm glad.
I was hoping to kill because I did that. I did that. And,
well, good job. All right, Michael, your turn. You got anything to show me?
Nope.
All right, you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this.
Nice.
All right, Michael, this is at least around 11 pounds, all forward weight. I waste so much energy in recoiling that could be used in attack. But overall, sir, your Bardiche will kill.
Yeah! Oh.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the strength test. The stump thump and steer smash. To test the strength and durability of your Bardiches, as well as their overall construction, I'll be chopping mercilessly into these logs and cleaving that steer skull in half. Remember, this is all about what happens to your Bardiche and not what happens to the wooden bone. John, you're up first. You ready?
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Well, John, your Bardiche, it's got a nice weight to it. Not a huge fan of these undulations in the handle because I want to be able to move my hands around. I'm looking at the edge. It held up beautifully. Everything's still straight and tight. Good job.
Thank you.
Michael, you're up next. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hope you ate your Wheaties.
All right.
Oh, boy. All right.
Well, Michael, first things first, this thing is heavy.
It's a beast.
But everything is still tight. There's no motion in it, even after all of that chopping and smashing of skulls. The edge held up really well, so well done.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Up next is the sharpness test, and for that, I give you to Dave.
All right, gentlemen. Now, unlike the strength test, this is all about what your blades do to the target. So take one shot right down the middle, trying to split those watermelon. Put half in one bucket, half in the other. All right, Johnny, you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, John. It feels good. It's got a good balance to it. The shape of this is really nice. The cutting edge, curved like that, cut through the watermelon beautifully. Sharp weapon. It's nicely done.
Thanks.
All right, Michael, you're up. Are you ready?
Bring out the beast.
Okay.
Ha ha ha.
Well, right off, it's definitely sharp, but it weighs a ton. I like the design of this, but build strong doesn't necessarily mean build heavy.
John, Mike, you bladesmiths have engaged in one of our most difficult competitions. However, only one of you can be the Forged in Fire champion, and that champion is... John, congratulations. You're our new Forged in Fire champion. Mike, unfortunately, your weapon didn't make the cut. Please surrender your weapon.
My experience here was definitely a challenge, pushed me to my limits. I learned a lot. I might not be the Forged in Fire champion, but I still feel like I'm walking away a winner.
John, congratulations. You're the new Forged in Fire champion, and that is a title that comes with a check. For how much?
10 grand.
Please present your Bardiche to the judges.
This is the most mentally, physically, emotionally stressful time, but also the best time of my life. Woo! Forged in Fire champion. I'm super excited to get home and tell my wife about the great news, and now next thing coming up, I'm gonna be having a baby boy. So, I mean, this is a wonderful year, thank God.